Close your eyes for a second and try to remember the heavy, electrifying atmosphere that filled the stands of Gillette Stadium last January. Remember that pure tension, the deafening silence that cut through our fans before each crucial snap in the 2025 playoffs. Rarely in the recent history of the New England Patriots have we seen an atmosphere with such dramatic weight on the field. Our rebuilding was being put to the test before the entire world, and the skeptics waited with their arms crossed for our definitive collapse. It was precisely there, in the suffocating heat of the postseason and under the relentless spotlights of the NFL, that the destiny of our franchise found a new path. I perfectly remember looking at the field and feeling a shiver down my spine as I watched young second-year players, kids who just a few months ago were complete unknowns to the general public, taking responsibility and carrying the weight of our immense jersey with frightening maturity. Those watching from the outside couldn't understand how a team in full transition could bite, fight, and silence their opponents with such aggression and wounded pride. The heart of every fan pounded in their throat when we saw our defense transform into an insurmountable human wall and our offense physically punish opposing defenses at the line of scrimmage. It wasn't just a hard-fought winning streak or a common display of tactical prowess. It was the official birth of a new collective identity in Foxborough. It became clear to anyone that the Patriots' cup-winning spirit was fully alive, pulsing through the sweat and dedication of a new generation that categorically refuses to accept a supporting role in the league. Block 2. Player Story. To understand how this new spirit was forged behind the scenes, we need to take a close look at the impressive trajectory of 5 silent workers who decided to change the course of their careers in New England. Consider running back Trevayon Henderson, who landed in Foxborough surrounded by enormous expectations in the second round of the 2025 draft, carrying the winning DNA of Ohio State, but knowing that the top of the NFL would demand a level of commitment completely different from anything he had experienced in college. At the same time, on the defensive side of the ball, safety Craig Woodson was chosen without much fanfare in the 4th round from Cal, bringing with him only his refined game reading and a blind determination to prove the league scouts wrong about him. Meanwhile, in the deepest and most violent trenches, undrafted rookie Elijah Ponder from the modest Cal Poly and tireless defensive tackle Corey Darden carved out their space on the supporting cast, like true lions hungry for a real opportunity, without the spotlight, without million-dollar contracts, and without any guarantee of permanence. Completing this group of workers, sprinter Kyle Williams remained focused, patiently waiting for the exact moment to use his elite vertical speed to explode opposing secondaries. These 5 athletes didn't know each other well, didn't share the same financial status, and didn't have the same origins in the sport. But they all carried in their eyes exactly the same hunger for glory and the same uncontrollable desire to etch their names in the history of the most victorious franchise of this century. They represent the true essence of working-class American football. Block 3. Difficulties. However, the road to the top has never been a fairy tale in Foxborough, and the barriers these athletes faced last season nearly shattered their dreams before they could even begin. At the start of the year, Trevayon Henderson seemed completely stuck in the offensive system, struggling to find space between the tackles and watching Ramondre Stevenson monopolize the overwhelming majority of offensive running plays, which generated much immediate criticism from the local press. Meanwhile, our pass rush rotation suffered a devastating blow when veteran Harold Landry went down with a serious knee injury, leaving a huge hole at the end of the line and creating an atmosphere of immense despair among the fans. In the middle of the defensive line, the sudden departure of Q's Tunga seemed to expose our lack of physical depth, while in the secondary, young Craig Woodson had to swallow the natural mistakes of a rookie under the relentless pressure of a crowd accustomed to tactical perfection. To make matters worse for everyone, wide receiver Kyle Williams seemed completely isolated in the passing game, suffering from a glaring lack of chemistry with the starting quarterback and finishing entire games with only 1 or 2 opportunities to get a shot on target. The psychological pressure on these young men was simply overwhelming. The atmosphere behind the scenes at the training facility was one of pure tension, and many analysts publicly declared that the Patriots didn't have enough young talent to compete on equal footing in the toughest division in American football today. everything seemed to be crumbling around us. Block 4, Overcoming. It was precisely when the scenario seemed darkest and most desperate that the true metamorphosis of these players began to heroically unfold on the field. When Harold Landry was injured, the discredited Elijah Ponder stepped forward with uncontrollable fury, taking over the main rotation and unleashing an impressive 4 sacks and 15 quarterback pressures on opposing quarterbacks shortly after the league's trade window closed. In the inside trenches, Corey Darden turned every game into a personal battle, starting 5 consecutive games and delivering brutal physicality that resulted in 30 tackles and a spectacular 72.8 rating on Pro Football Focus. While opposing defenses struggled to close down running lanes, speedster Kyle Williams shocked the NFL with unbelievable vertical plays, such as that spectacular 70-yard reception against the Buccaneers and the game-winning touchdown against the Giants, proving that his sheer speed was a weapon of mass destruction. But the most beautiful and impactful overcoming happened at the back of our secondary. Craig Woodson elevated his game in a bizarre way when the season reached its most critical point in the playoffs. The young safety led the team with the composure of a seasoned veteran, achieving 4 tackles for loss, 6 passes defended, and a monumental interception that earned him the highest grade among all NFL safeties in the entire postseason. They didn't just survive the crisis, they used the difficulties as fuel to silence all the critics. Block 5, Recognition. Today, the respect and recognition these 5 athletes have earned from the American football community is the greatest proof that hard, quiet work always triumphs over skepticism in the NFL. You can notice the drastic change in Coach Mike Vrabel's demeanor during press conferences in Foxborough. The coach doesn't hold back in his words of pride when describing Kyle Williams' physical and mental evolution, publicly highlighting his elite release skills and the impeccable dedication the young man demonstrated in the team's secret training sessions. Similarly, pass rush coach Mike Smith makes a point of daily praising Elijah Ponder's technical impact, calling the young player from Cal Poly a true steal from the post-draft market, and highlighting how his eyes light up when he receives tactical adjustments. When questioned about the lack of reinforcements for the middle of the line, Vrabel responded with complete conviction that Corey Darden has already categorically proven on the field that he is the legitimate and ideal replacement for our elite rotation. This recognition comes not only in motivational speeches, but also in the respect shown by veteran players on the roster, such as All-Pro Kevin Byard, who publicly assumed the role of mentor to Craig Woodson, understanding that the young man is the bright future of our secondary. The prestige of these athletes has completely changed, and today, the entire league looks at the New England Patriots roster with immense awe and renewed respect, knowing that our ranks are inhabited by young warriors ready for physical combat. Block 6, Future. Now, when we look directly to the horizon of the 2026 NFL season, it's absolutely impossible not to feel a massive wave of optimism and renewed confidence wash over every Patriots fan. Imagine the havoc our running game promises to wreak with Tre'Veyon Henderson receiving over 60% of the main carries from the backfield, now fully empowered by fullback Reggie Gilliam's destructive blocking, opening up veritable avenues through opposing defenses. Think of the nightmare rival defensive coordinators will face trying to devise game plans to stop A.J. Brown and Romeo Doubs in the passing game, while speedster Kyle Williams infiltrates completely free at vertical speed to punish the bottom of secondaries. On defense, our line of scrimmage projects itself as one of the most brutal and dominant forces in the entire American Conference, boasting established stars like Christian Barmore and Milton Williams, working alongside the frightening depth brought by Corey Darden and Leonard Taylor III, the shining hero who blocked the decisive field goal that stamped our ticket to the Super Bowl. The future of the New England Patriots is no longer tied to distant promises or a past of nostalgic glories. It is happening right before our eyes, sustained by the aggressive evolution of these second-year athletes who are hungry to raise another championship banner at Gillette Stadium. We are assembling a true working-class dynasty ready to reclaim the top of the NFL. Block 7, CTA. If you felt your blood boil and your heart beat faster, remembering those historic battles we fought in Foxborough, know that our journey to the top of the league is just beginning, and we need the maximum strength of every fan on this path. Give this video a massive like right now to show the YouTube algorithm the size and immeasurable pride of the Patriots nation spread across the globe. And if you want to keep up with the tactical behind-the-scenes, in-depth analysis, and all the breaking news coming out of Gillette Stadium firsthand, click the subscribe button below and turn on all notifications so you don't miss a single second of our daily content. Our community is the true engine that pushes the team toward the toughest victories of the season. The final question. Now I want to hear your voice in the comments below. Looking at these 5 young talents and the bizarre depth of our current roster, do you truly believe that the development of these second-year players is the key factor that will put the New England Patriots back on the path to winning the next Super Bowl in our history? Share your honest opinion with us, actively participate in the debate, and, as always, let's cheer together with all our energy. Let's go, Pats!